In this video, I'll show you guys why Utopia Onomat is the best rogue deck of the format. We've got Future Zexal, probably one of the new broken Exceed boss monsters that stops everything from being targeted on the field except him, not forgetting that each Onomat name when detached will do a second search, which means every new Onomat monster is a +2. So stick around, learn the Utopic Onomat deck and why these broken +2 Onomat names are super important, and how to play the deck. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe for more videos like this one. What should I cover next on the channel? And that being said, enjoy the video and I'll see you guys there. Alright guys, so coming up first for the monsters, we've got 3 Dodo Warrior, 3 Goblinberg, 1 Glove, 1 Gigas. This monster can send a Go-Go or Dodo card to the graveyard and then it becomes level 4 and you're locked into the extra deck for Exceed. But the best thing about this card is it's a free special from hand, kind of mimics what the Rizal cards do. This is efficient level 4 summons for rank 4s. What it will do is most likely always send Glove. That's why it's run as a one-off, because Glove, if you control a Dodo or Go-Go card, it will special summon itself from the graveyard, and it has a on-field effect to special a Zubaba or Gaga monster from the hand. So like I said in my previous video, and you definitely go check out all the Utopia videos from the Duelist Advanced set, this card and Coat, they're bridges for the Zubaba, Gaga and Dodo Go-Go monsters. Go-Go Goblinberg, this is a special from the deck. So how this card works, on normal summon you'll special a Go-Go monster. Now obviously Dodo Warrior is going to be sending Glove to grave. Because of that, we're going to have another target, that's Gigas. I actually like to start with Goblin first, just because Dodo is such a momentum boost in the game, and if you hold that in your hand after a Nibiru or Disruption, you're likely going to win the game, because that extra rank 4 in this deck especially is a big deal. Gigas is a card I don't think many people are even aware of, and actually special itself when you special a Dodo or Go-Go monster. And then you have Onomatopia. This card, guys, is the bridge to everything in the game, and because it counters all the names, you can special Glove from the graveyard. Gigas will trigger from the graveyard as well. Colt will special it from the grave. Still run as a one-off though, because again you can see it anywhere and it helps the engine from anywhere in the deck, even the hand or graveyard or field, and again can special all the names from the hand as its on-field effect. A perfect imperm bait. Ganbara Knight, we've actually took this down to 1 since my original videos. You need to reveal a Gaga rank 4 monster to actually summon this card. The cool thing about this card, it can summon a Gaga monster from the hand as well, and in the combo you typically summon Onomatopia with it as well. Obviously you've got Gaga Coat as well, one of the most important cards of the deck. It kind of achieves the same thing as Dodo Warrior, Goblinberg, Ganbara Knight actually, because it's a free special. Zubaba Knight is the only strange card which kind of feels like a one-card stab. On summon, it will search a Zubaba monster from the deck and then copies its level. All these Zubaba cards are useless, so the only targets are Onomatopia and the Gaga Coat. But the other effect, and this was actually useful in Sneak Peek, it can destroy a defense position monster. So that's quite interesting. I'm sure there's a world where that is actually going to happen. Zubaba Knight is typically specialed with the Glove, and then yeah, it will trigger on search as well. And also, yeah, all these new monsters, when they're detached, they will search. I don't know about you guys, but I never thought we'd see the day where a rank 4 deck has the effect where all the monsters search when detached. I feel like that's crazy. Yeah guys, I mean, I think this support is insane. Every card searches. Each of the Onomat names will search for a different Onomat name as well, so that's obviously really good. For example, Goblinberg will search for a Dodo monster. It can also search for Dodo Warrior in the combo. There's a world where you play Ouroboros in this pure deck and then send the Eclipse on top of the Ouroboros to the grave to trigger the second Ouroboros hand loop. So there's another option as well. And of course, Pegasus Saber is an effect negation similar to the Angelic Eye spell card in the Infernoble deck, where on the resolution, the monster effect will be negated. In my previous video, definitely go check that out. In the replay, it shows me negating Typhon's bounce effect, even though Utopia Ray was higher than 3k. Right guys, so coming up next are the spell and trap cards for Utopia Onomat. Onomatopaira can discard a card, search for 2 Onomat names. I mean guys, we've seen that effect rivaled in other meta decks and it's obviously been quite strong. All you need to know is Onomata pickups on activation will search for Onomatopaira or the field spell. The field spell can be run in this deck. It specials any of the names from deck. If this card resolved, you probably win the game because you can likely pull into a Drake or Future, or you know, again, without this card you can still do the combo. So with it, it's crazy. Rank up Magic Utopia Force, overlay into Utopia and Utopia C39 with the double, which gives us 4 materials, which we then overlay into Dragonar. Dragonar will summon a Leo Utopia on your turn and a number monster on the opponent's turn, usually Harbinger. On your turn, you can also do Photon Lord instead. Maybe take out the Leo Utopia Ray and the Twin Saber package. Double or nothing. I mean, it is the best OT card enabler in the game, with Utopia, the classic Exceed monster, the protagonist monster. Likely in your duels when you go to locals with this deck, you're actually going to OTK with double or nothing quite easily. Unbreakable Exceed Barrier. This card is cool. This is like a power creep of numbers protection. works a little bit differently. If you control an Exceed monster, it doesn't have to be a number monster anymore. Negate the activation, and then if you have 2 materials on any Exceed monster, detach it and pop any card on the field. The world where you let them build up their board, then you negate something, and then you pop something else. It has a great effect to attach a Utopic monster to a Exceed monster on the field. The new Omni Negate for Exceed monsters, very powerful. Alright guys, everyone's favorite part of the video, we've got some non-engine here to basically show you how we're going to win the game. I think the strength of Utopia is the fact it can run multiple non-engines when all the monsters in the engine are, you know, special summonable from the hand. You've got consistency cards, searching 2 of them. Makes it really easy to win with a 1-card combo and 2 to 4 hand trap. We've got a Ash Blossom which can stop the Molchamis. Unfortunately in this deck it loses to pretty much every single Molchami, so obviously you're seeing my lineup. If you have Perilias, I think you have to run it. On the off chance you have a cross out, that's why this deck is 40 cards. You can also call out those Molchamis. The deck can play through draw, by the way, and if they do Molchamis, you got to time it right, you can draw them back. To learn the plays when you do get Molchami, maybe it's a Baguska, maybe it's still Draco Future because it's still pretty strong, and you get to have a backup with like Gaga Girl searching a Exceed Unbreakable Barrier. Maybe that might be enough for you, but again, I think the level of non-engine really determines how successful this deck is for you. Alright guys, now this is my favorite bit of the video. We're going to run through all the extra deck monsters in the Gagaga Onomat deck, whatever you want to call it. Utopia Onomat. This has 4 guards in its name. That's insane. Konami, what are you doing to me? There will also be a world where Dodo Warrior starts being thrown in a package with other cards just because of how strong a card like Gaga Girl is and the new future Zexal. Being able to detach and search for a Gaga, Exceed or Onomat card is extremely powerful. We've got Omni Negates, we've got Onomatopaira, and we've got Gaga like spell and traps as well. And I think that's why this card is super important. It sets up Draco Future as a 1-card combo. If you want to see all the combos, watch my Utopia playlist. Get ready for the release date of this set. Utopic Future Zexal, super powerful card, insane power creep to the existing Exceed monsters. This card gains attack and defense equal to the combined ranks of all Exceed monsters you control and in your opponent's graveyard. Your opponent's monsters cannot target monsters for attacks except this one. Also, your opponents cannot target other cards on the field with card effect. And the more I read this card, the more I realize this card is actually a sleeper boss monster for the future formats because it's generic as well. All you need is 2 Exceed monsters of the same rank. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect on the field, quick effect, attach a material, take control of the monster until the end phase, and then this card cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. So as soon as you trigger that second effect, there's no way this card is going down, and that's why it's a sleeper card for the format. I highly recommend you pick one up. Imagine in a Sky Striker or Runic format we had access to future Zexal, and imagine they used this card as well. I mean, that just shows how crazy this card is. Draco Future, obviously the OG card, one of the best Exceed monsters in the game, boss monsters in the game. This card allows us to steal a monster, come show a battle or card effect. This card bridges into kind of the whole lineup. Detach material, search double or nothing, and go for a Utopia monster. The attack is doubled. It cannot attack directly, but because the attack is doubled, that means you can go for a nice OTK with double or nothing. We've got a Utopia package here to summon the Dragonar. We ended up including Utopia Rising. So this card, people were complaining that this deck doesn't have a grind game. Utopia Rising literally is your grind game because on summon, it will summon a number monster from the graveyard and put all its materials onto him. The best thing as well, it can come back from the graveyard if you summon an Exceed monster, which means it's the best grind game card, and people are sleeping on this card as well. In a mirror match with maybe Resolve, again, Future Zexal gets an attack buff from all their rank monsters. And I titled my original Duelist Advanced Utopia video, this is the Resolve killer. Resolve Mitsurugi is the most important deck in the game right now. Everyone is looking for it, and that means we have the right deck to counter it because of cards like, for example, Future Zexal, which can't be targeted, destroyed by battle or card effects. It steals their monsters. This is a great deck to counter Resolve Mitsurugi. And then we have Utopia Dragonar summoning 2 number monsters. I like summon Leotopia and our turn, equip the Zaber, and then on the opponent's turn we summon Harbinger. We have Utopic Sage bringing out Ascended Sage, which searches the rank up spell, which is extremely important. That's a great power creep for the deck. And then we've got Hope Harbinger as well. Yeah, this card has been with me for a long time. We've even got the new S38 monster coming soon. This card is obviously great. You can make your opponent attack this monster and it steals spells when it negates them. And then to round it off, we've got a Zeus, because we can obviously go into 4 material Utopia, attack, and then go for a Zeus play. Find that crazy. And Zeus is obviously one of the best top 5 cards in the game even. So for that reason, I would highly recommend still playing Zeus. And then to round it off, Alan Bershon, which searches us Astrotopia, or can search us a game-winning Floodgate spell or trap card going first, post-siding like an anti-spell or a Mischief of the Gnomes. Being able to detach 2, 3, 4 materials lets us trigger all of our Onomat name searches. And sometimes, obviously, in a proper tournament style, you are going to be disrupted. You will have weird hands and fields, which means a card like Animation might actually help you detach 3 materials and trigger all 3 searches. So yeah, I think Animation is probably a flex spot though. You can add a Dugaras, you can add a Baguska. That's been the main deck and the extra deck lineup for Utopia. If you want to catch my combos, you have to check my other videos on my Utopia playlist. We've covered everything from Utopic Resolve, hand loops, pure Utopia, an updated pure Utopia deck. We're going to be trying this deck with a lot of packages. I hear Heraldry is a good package to play with this as well. We could even play Supercoin with Utopia, and Supercoin is coming up next as well. We've finally got the deck playable and competitive. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this amazing Utopia competitive Onomat deck profile, and I'll see you guys in the next one.